Welcome to Wrong Time Watch. My name is Kevin, and this is another watch that I purchased over a year ago and have not worn it. Still has plastic on the bracelet. Hopefully you can see that there. So I figured I should just sell it. I actually had a previous or a different version of this watch on loan a while ago, and I have a full presentation video on that. That was the full lume dial, and since I had that watch in hand, I purchased this one as a pre-order. This is the Snowflake dial, but again, this is another story of me buying a watch on pre-order, and then by the time it arrives, I kind of lose interest in it, and I just don't wear them. So I really don't think I'm going to do the pre-orders anymore. I don't know. I might change my mind on that again, but I don't know. For now, I'm going to say no more pre-orders. So anyway, these watches are $390. Borealis Neptuno, currently sold out. So I'm probably going to sell it for the same price as that, and just get it out of the collection. So this has the white dial or the snowflake dial. Actually, it is a snowflake dial. Let me zoom in and I'll show you. Hopefully you can see it on your end of the camera there, your end of the screen, I should say. And actually, I'll get my snowflake and compare them side by side. There is a bit of a snowflake pattern. It's just not as easy to see as on my Grand Seiko snowflake. But as I mentioned in the unboxing, the price of this watch is less than 10% the price of a snowflake. Actually, maybe even 4%. I don't know, my math isn't all that good. 3%, whatever. It's quite a bit less. All right, there we go. And the other thing is, I can't tell if these indices are printed on or applied. They're very shallow if they are applied. Not much height to them at all. And the watch does have BGW9 lume. And then you can see again, Borealis is printed on, as well as the automatic and 300 meter below that. A bit of something on the crystal there, I guess. This is a flat sapphire crystal, and it does have AR coating applied to the crystal as well. So let's zoom back out here. The bezel insert, I thought it is ceramic, but it is not a ceramic bezel insert. It is actually hardened steel that is PVD coated. So something a little bit different there. I have a Damasco with a hardened steel bezel, but that is DLC coated, which will be much more scratch resistant than this. I would expect that this will show some scratches on it eventually. And that is a lumed bezel insert. I was almost going to say lumed ceramic bezel insert, but it is a lumed PVD coated bezel insert. Speaking of the lume, we have BGW9 lume applied to the bezel insert and to the hands and indices. The case is all brushed. 316L stainless steel. It's all brushed. It's a little bit tall for my liking. Maybe it's just the slab side too, but I much prefer the SKX type rounded case. You really don't see too many watches with a rounded case like this. I just really like the rounded cases. It's not straight up and down like that Neptuno case right there. Hopefully I can see here. Yeah, there we go. These are actually the same height. I think the SKX may be a little bit thinner. 13.5 versus 14, if I remember correctly. So let me know what you guys think of this watch. Also, what do you guys think about the pre-ordering system? You know, it's similar to Kickstarter. Borealis has been around for a long time. I don't know why they still do the pre-order thing, but whatever. It must be working for them. People are still buying their watches. Okay, so this one has the Seiko NH38 movement in it. It is a no-date dial with a no-date movement, which is always nice. So unscrew the crown, screw down signed crown, rated as 300 meters water resistance. So first position out, we're in hand winding, and then next position, the second hand has stopped, so it is a true no date movement. And since the second hand has stopped, the watch movement has hacking and hand winding, and it's 6 beats per second. So not quite as smooth as this watch here. We're in Black Bay 58 today. Hopefully you can see the difference in the sweep here. The Black Bay is 8 beats per second versus 6 beats per second on the Borealis. But again, big difference in price. See, I think these are around these 400, so 4,000 versus 400, so 10% less, or 10% the price. Get my words all mixed up today. So we have solid end links and solid links. Milled clasp here. This portion is milled, and then this portion is stamped. We have 6 micro adjusts, and this has the dual pushers, which I do like. Safety clasp, really don't care for. If it has dual pushers, I don't think you need a safety clasp. It's my personal opinion. But if you have a friction fit like this one, then yeah, sure, safety clasp is great, because there's really not much holding that in there. So safety clasp prevents it from popping off wrist. Actually, I can get this one to right there. It's open, and then the safety clasp is what's keeping it on. So right there, popped off. So with that in mind, let me grab my Snowflake and we'll take a look at the dial here. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so it is the Grand Seiko Snowflake SBGA211. Let's wind it up and I'll show you something neat with this second hand. It does have the spring drive, but for the first few seconds after winding it, the thing just goes like crazy because the quartz isn't powered up, so there's nothing breaking, holding back that second hand. So there you go, it just slowed down right there. See, the power reserve is also increasing. So maybe that's good enough for getting that second hand to move around. Titanium, so it's pretty lightweight. Every time I pick it up, it kind of throws me for a loop. So anyway, let's look at the 2 dials. I don't think I'm able to show these. Sorry about that, hit the wrong button there, so it won't be very seamless when I merge these 2 videos together. So hopefully you can see the detail on this dial a lot better than on the Neptuno. A lot more snowflake looking. So yeah, one of my favorite watches right here, Grand Seiko Snowflake. Okay, let's talk about the dimensions on the Neptuno. We'll close out this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it, and it really helps me out with the channel here. So I measured from the center link to center link here on these male links, 52 millimeter. They do really slope down quite a bit. Probably the steepest angle on an end link I've ever seen on a watch. It just really drops right down. It's kind of a weird looking watch, actually. 47 millimeter on the case, lug to lug. You can see we do have drilled lugs here, which I really appreciate. 41 millimeter bezel diameter. 14 millimeter thick. And then we have 20 millimeter lugs, which taper down to 18 millimeter. From what I remember, this beads of rice bracelet is quite comfortable on wrist. From the other one I had in on loan. And then we have a 7.4 millimeter screw down crown. That's a pretty substantial size crown. Okay, let me get this on wrist and then we'll check out the loom. So there it is on my 6.5-inch wrist with the 52mm wristband. So those male end links should be right at the outer edges of my wrist. Doesn't look too bad from the side, well, from the top view, but these real long lugs here, or the center links, I really don't care for. Maybe if they would have machined kind of like a bead pattern in there, the beads of rice pattern, it would look better. But it could just be me. Maybe I'm being a little bit too picky. All right, let's check out the loom on this as compared to my SKX. Let's show them side by side real quick. They do offer plenty of links. I just pulled it off wrist without opening the clasp. So pretty similar in size here between these two. But the Neptuno just looks so much thicker due to that slab side. And that slab side continues from lug to lug. I don't think I've seen another watch style like this before. Okay, we'll be right back with the loom. So we have the Neptuno on the left, obviously, which I'm sure you can tell due to all the loom applied to this watch. We have the loomed bezel insert, and then, of course, the hands and indices with the BGW9 loom. And on the right, we have the Seiko SKX, which is laying down on the table. So let me try and hold these on the same plane here. As far as brightness, I think I would give it to the SKX, but it could just be a difference of the bluish loom versus the greenish colored loom. If you're looking for loom, I don't think you can go wrong with this Borealis Neptuno. That will conclude this video. As always, thank you for your time and thank you for watching.